Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea, also known as Kiasha, and I'm one of the artists behind Detailed Creations LLC. Today I have a speed paint of a sticker inspired by the Deal With It meme, based off some old art I created in 2013. I know. Another 6 year ago artwork redraw. But today you might have noticed I have a microphone. That way I can actually talk you through what I'm thinking about or how I go about it. Alright, let's get into it. First off, I start with the circles for the main portions of the face. The three circles represent the head, cheek, and muzzle of the fox. These just give me an idea where these should go on the face and help me lay out all the main features appropriately. Once I feel like I have a good sketch down, I lower the opacity of the sketch layer, then make a new layer. This is what I call the inking phase. Off screen, I have added smoothing to my brush to get cleaner lines. Of course, I still don't like how the smoothing tool has made the lines look more clunky, so I tend to erase and clean the lines a little bit more during this process. This gives me the look I like a whole lot more. After I have a general idea of what I want the end result to look like, I remove that sketch layer entirely so I can focus on the line of work. I added some eye spots to trick my brain into understanding what's going on above the sunglasses, but erased them since foxes don't have those markings. Are you seeing how much each part is formed, erased, and reformed? Yeah, that's my process. This one sticker took me 2 hours to figure out how I like it to look. The smoothing tool is a great added feature for me because I have really shaky hands. Whether it's due to too much coffee or something else, I like to have those clean lines for my artwork. More power to the people who can ink with a brush pen because that is not one of my skills. The smoothing tool does round out everything, so the eraser tool is good to bring out the tapered look of fur. You'll see me visit and revisit that mouth the most, as I just could not get the expression I was looking for. You know, that smug, mischievous look. To finish off the fox's face, I ended up adding some fur at the chin to kind of replicate a beard, the bad boy aesthetic. And then I couldn't decide if I wanted to add the shoulders like in the old version or not. You'll see me draw and redraw and erase and try to figure out what that would even look like. And the more I did it, the less I liked it. So I ended up just mixing it all together and adding text. The font in the original drawing is called Impact, which is the font of choice for the memes back in that day. When I went through the fonts, I didn't really quite feel the Impact font was the best, so I chose one that was a little thinner later on, and I'm still not too sure if I like that one. So if you have any font choices, let me know in the comments below. Next up is the color, which is always my favorite. I always start off with the base color, but it's going to be the majority of the subject. This is of course the reddish orange of the fox. Next is the white color, which I add a new layer and did do a clip mask to the layer below. This makes sure that I can keep within my lines. After that is the black, which I choose more of a like reddish orange. I will play with that later. Once I figure out the base colors for this subject, I will create a new layer, change the mode to multiply, and then I will add a strong shadow color that's close to the highly bright, low saturation, but it will have a little bit of color to just kind of add a little bit more warmth or coolness to the subject. Here I start with a very warm tone and then I bring it down to a cooler tone. I then take that same color and add a new layer, that way I can come in with a hard brush and block in the hardest shadows of the character. Right now I'm doing that right in the ear fluff and trying to block out what that would look like. Sometimes I will fill the whole area with the shadowed color and then erase to see what that would look like, see if that's the right area. As you can see, this is a lot like the inking process where I will go in, block out something, not like it, erase, fill, erase, until I just really enjoy what looks accurate for me. After the shadows are all nice and filled in, I will go in with a new layer with the softest brush I can get, and then the color mode overlay to add a nice highlight to the area. After I have dedicated a light source, I start going in similar to the shadows, but I will add some smudging to it in some places to create a soft glow where I want the edges to show a little bit stronger, or if there's a more glossy surface like the sunglasses, I'll add a few different layers of highlight. And then this really brings the characters together to getting those glossy noses or the glossy eyes. Obviously there's no eyes in this one, but it's one of my favorite features to add to a character is the highlights, because it's almost like getting the gold medal. You're about to hit the end, you get to see the shiny. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I did go back in and touch up the sunglasses to be a little bit darker, and then I did the nose. After I did those, I haven't corrected it here, but later I decided that it looks better to have all of those colors the same color. But what I did is I just selected the colors and then went to the color picker tool and then brought down the brightness and contrast. That way they stand out a little bit better. I think it really improved the look of this. That reddish orange dark color that I picked was just not quite right, but having that extra contrast just really brought this together. If you look closely at the ears and the fur, that's where I use the smudging tool the most. That way it seems more of a soft blend rather than a harsh highlight. I like the strong shadows, but the highlights I do enjoy to have a mix of softer and a harsh highlight. The harsh highlights are mainly on the nose, eyes if there were eyes, and then at the rim of the sunglasses where the light would be hitting on it. I tried to decide if I needed to add any of the pixelated highlights like you see in the actual meme. It just didn't really quite look right for me. I also put in the hair fluff and I meant to go back in with a shadow, but I think it looks fine without it. I also add more of the glare on the sunglasses instead to just kind of add more of the flare. But because you saw at the beginning I did resize the line art, you will find that I remove all of the colors and go back in and clean up those lines because they got a little fuzzy in that resizing. And then I also play with the text because at this point it is still the impact font. And then I just make sure all the colors are within the lines and looks good, and then I make it a sticker. Well, and that's it for this redraw. I hope you really enjoyed it. I know I really enjoy seeing my art style change and how it's progressed. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any thoughts on what we can do better or anything you'd like to hear more in depth about. Let me know. I hope you have a great day and see you next time. Bye!